In this episode of EcoBus, I read a gauge, get confused with left and right, and give a pro tip.
Okay, so we're back for another day of EcoBussing, and today I'm gonna get some help to lift the engine. It's down here, up into the engine stand, but there's also another task we're gonna tackle today. One problem with the bus is that the fuel gauge isn't working really properly. It works really good between full and half tank, then it just goes dead. So we need to drop the tank to investigate the fuel sender, and in order to do that we need to remove the gearbox. So gearbox removal is on the schedule today. We're gonna start to remove the drive shafts. And here's the pro tip of the day. Let's just get under here. Here we go. Okay, so this is the drive shaft. And before you start stripping these bolts, clean them out. Gearbox is out. Next step is to remove the tank from the car, but I am totally fed up with crawling around under it. This is compression test take 2, and hopefully I won't fail today. With me today I have Mike, my friend, who's helping me out, and let's point it towards the engine. Here we go. Okay, so we got the gearbox and the starter hooked up, and we'll just do it the old-fashioned way today. Okay, so Mike, hit number 1.
Ready?
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. We've got 110 psi. Okay, cylinder number 2. Oh, wait. There we go. Good. 100. Okay, number 3. Yeah, that's good. 120. Yeah, let's go. Oh, here we go. 140. Let's check number 2 again, because that was the low one.
Yeah. I think it's. So I guess it would be between 5 and 10% difference. It's quite a bit different.
Yeah.
So maybe
it's time to take the cylinders off. Yeah. No, it doesn't go any higher. It's 90 now. Once good. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, 90. That's a bit off.
yeah. Quite low.
Okay, so these are the results of the compression test. We're gonna have to investigate cylinder number 2 at least. The engine is back on the stand, and it's been quite a tough day, I must say. First of all, I was a little bit let down by the compression test. It is kind of okay, but I don't feel like running the engine this way. Usually the max PSI difference you want between any cylinder is 28, so we got 40 here. That's quite a lot more, and 100 psi is a little bit low. It is okay, but that cylinder is not going to give a lot of power. After the compression test, we took the engine and all the engine tin and all the parts I have removed out to a place to get them cleaned. And that was a tough task, I must say. This engine and the other parts, they have years and years of crud on them. Sand and stones mixed together with engine oil. It is a bitch to remove, I must say. If you just look here on the engine, you can see some that I absolutely couldn't get out, and it's like a hard clay. It's really hard to remove. So I'm gonna have to look into some way to clean all the parts, or at least get them quite clean. I did remove a lot of the grime on the engine and other parts, but nowhere near enough. Some people say diesel fuel is really good for cleaning parts. I don't know if I want to use diesel, because obviously I want to keep this as eco-friendly as possible. I might resort to using diesel fuel, but then I have to do it in kind of a controlled way and get a big bath of diesel and clean the parts and then make sure to dispose of the diesel in a proper way. You do not want to take your engine and your parts out on the yard and just clean them with diesel. That's really bad for the environment. Okay, so what we'll do next is to tear the engine down a bit more now that it's a little bit cleaner. And we need to check this part of the engine and see why this side has quite a lot lower compression than the left side. Oh, yeah, this is friendly. This is right side, this is left side. Yeah, so cue time lapse. Alright, the right side head is off, and I think I might have found the reason for the lower compression on this side. If we look at the head, oh, there we go. This is what it looks like, and if we look down here and also down here, I think that is what's called blow-by. At least I think so. I'm gonna snap some pictures and ask people who really know about this. I don't. This is the first engine I'm tearing down this way, except for moped engine. And this is what it looks like on the corresponding cylinders. So there's a slight different color here, and it's hard to see on the camera, but this piece here is a bit tinted. So, picture snapping time, and I hope someone can explain this to me.